Alright guys, it is time for our Friday update, kind of let you know how things happened this week. It was a rockin' week here in Glendale and above the 134. We had 48 brand new listings come on the market, 30 price reductions, and 23 single family dwellings went on into escrow this week alone. That's for the last 7 days. That is a really intense period of activity. And it's good to know that the buyers are confident enough in our economy to go ahead and buy a house. Some people were upgrading. We had homes in the higher price ranges selling this week, as well as stuff in the lower price ranges. I went on Caravan on Wednesday in the Glendale area and also on Thursday in the Pasadena area. I'm going to go ahead and check my show notes for a link to some of the homes that I thought were the best. I'm going to highlight them right now for you. There is a house on Western that is above Bel Air, listed for $825,000. It's not that this is some unbelievably cheap price. It was just a really nicely done house on a nice large lot, and because it's above Bel Air, that part of Western is actually reasonable. It's not particularly busy. It's a nice place to be. Another really notable house is up on Beaudry. This would be in the Verdugo Woodlands area, a storybook neighborhood. This is a newer built craftsman style home. It is contemporary craftsman, which, you know, it's hard to explain what that is. I recommend you click on the show notes and take a look at the pictures that I have on my website for that. This is a home for someone who's looking for a magical, artistic retreat that is private and just feeds your soul. There's lots of bright, soaring open spaces. The master bedroom is a confection of tranquility with its own loft. Really liked this house, but it's not for everybody. It's for the unique buyer. Listed at $1,069,000. Castle is technically in the city of La Cañada, but it's that area that we call sagebrush, and that area is not in the La Cañada school system. It's in the Glendale school system, but it's the very best schools that Glendale has to offer. So at $577, the listing agent claims this is the cheapest price in La Cañada. Probably is. House looks like it needs some work, but for that price, come on. What do you expect? Last one in my show notes is a property on Sherrill that's in La Crescenta. This one's listed, well, for the moment, it's listed for $325,000. They keep playing around with this one. It was for a while at $299, then they raised the price for $325. First they said they were going to have showings on May 10th. Now they say that showings aren't going to be until May 30th. And the phone number, get this people, the phone number for the listing agent is the wrong phone number. It goes to some security company, and they've had this phone number up for 2 weeks. Lots of agents have tried to find out who the real listing agent is, and no one can seem to find them. Their company is listed in Palm Springs. I smell, that's a stinker right there. It's a stinker. There's something smelly going on, or as Daphne would say from Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah, I watch Scooby-Dooby-Doo. She'd say, there's something hinky going on there. Fraud? I don't know. Maybe they just have an agent who's not keeping track of their phone calls, but I'd run away from that one. As I mentioned in one of my blog posts this week, the mainstream media has now all of a sudden decided that the sky is not falling, and in fact the conditions for buying have gotten better, and maybe even the market is going up. Boy, I tell you, these guys, if it isn't on one extreme, there's everything going to hell in a handbasket. It's on the other extreme, trying to tell buyers that you better buy now because you've missed the bottom of the market. And the truth, of course, is always somewhere in between. Have we hit the bottom of the market? I don't know. What is true is that inventory has come down. There's not as many nice houses for you to buy. What is true is that the good houses, houses that are well located, in decent condition, or really well priced, have had multiple offers. And sometimes they're going above ask. In a few salacious cases, they're even going a lot over asking price. But have we hit bottom? It's too soon to tell. The problem with trying to predict the bottom of the market is you won't know that you were there until you're already out of it and on your way back up. My recommendation, as always, don't get too wanked around by emotions and salacious sales calls of any sort. If it's right for you and your family to buy, then buy. If it's not right for you and your family to buy, then don't buy. It's really that simple. There's some links to articles that were in the LA Times and some other mainstream media sources. You can certainly read for yourself what's going on there. Mortgage rates are up this week. They're still at historic lows for the last 10 years, but they have gone up. Conforming loans, which are under $417,000 as a loan amount, are right now sitting just a titch under 5% at 0 points. Paying a 1.5 can take that interest rate down to somewhere a little bit above 4.5%. Your jumbo rates, which are any loan amounts right now that are above $417,000, are sitting at 6.39% for a jumbo at 0 points. A little over, close to 5 3/4, paying a 1.5. Rumor has it, and it's a little bit better than rumor, that Countrywide, which is now Bank of America, should be having the jumbo light, is what we call them. That would be loans that are above $417,000 but below $729,000. Those will be coming on the market as of May 15th. So those of you who need to borrow more than $417,000, you want to wait until May 15th. Okay, so just keep your eye out on that. Last thing, I just wanted to give you a little funny story that I heard from one of my colleagues. Real estate is a comedy of personal people. People are they're hysterical. So here's how the story goes. He has this listing for a vacant piece of land, and they received an offer from a gentleman who may or may not have been qualified, but the offer was not accepted. In fact, the offer was rejected. Interestingly enough, this same gentleman decided that because he'd made a written offer, he now has the right to occupy said piece of vacant land. So he's right now actually squatting on this vacant piece of land, and the owner of the land, who's kind of afraid of this guy, apparently he's a little scary, you'll find out why in a second, she asks a friend of hers to confront this guy and say, you're trespassing, please leave. And when this friend of the seller approaches this gentleman, he's sitting there and he's got this humongous knife on his belt. And the guy is looking at him and he's a little bit intimidated at this point, and he's not sure what to do. And the squatter himself references this lethal weapon that's on his belt, and he goes, oh, you're probably wondering about this knife. And the guy says, well, yeah. And he goes, oh, I'm only carrying this knife because I'm not allowed to carry a gun. And the guy, curiosity gets the better of him. He says, well, why can't you carry a gun? He says, well, the Justice Department says that I'm not allowed to. Something about a violation of concealed weapons. Maybe I'm violating parole, something like that. But it's nothing for you to worry about. I'm just going to stay right here on the land. And you know what? For the moment, this guy's still on the land. Everybody's afraid of him. This world is so crazy. We deal with nutballs all the time. I spend almost all of my days in hysterical laughter because people are crazy, and I love them. I love them to death. So that's it for this week. It's been an intense one. I'm looking forward to the opportunities that next week will bring. I'm just going to leave you this one last thought. Michael J. Fox did an amazing show last night. If you didn't catch it, I look forward to a rerun because it's a must-see. And he said this one really amazing thing while he's flailing away at a golf ball with Bill Murray. And he says to Bill Murray, he says, you know what? Every day I get the chance to do the right thing. Every day I get a chance over and over again to do the right thing. And because of it, I don't worry about doing things right. I really like that thought. So that's the thought I want to carry you in. For those of you who are mothers, happy Mother Day. I hope you have a wonderful one, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.